So today I'm going to go over some postural alignments with you guys and give you some exercises to help you find strength in the spine so that you can really stack those joints and you can relieve that back pain and find that taller posture. So many of my clients come in and really struggle with keeping themselves stacked with their ankles under their knees and their knees under their hips and their hips under their shoulders. So I'm going to give you guys some tricks and some exercises that you can do at home so you can start building up that strength a little bit day by day over time. So just find something to put down on the floor or a carpet, and even if you have one of these small mobile mirrors, that can be very helpful because a lot of times we feel like we're in alignment and then we check it out and we realize, wow, I'm not even close. So grab those few things, pause me if you need to, and then come back and we'll get started. And we are going to start down on our knees on all fours. So knees and our hands, we're just going to warm up the spine first, making sure that our knees are underneath of the hips, pressing through the tops of the feet, hands underneath of the armpits, pressing through the L and the backwards L of the thumb and the first finger, making sure that our wrists are parallel with the top of the mat if we're using one. And then relaxing the belly towards the mat as we roll the shoulders back, elevating the chin. And then exhale as we round and press into the mat, looking towards the belly. A few more times, inhaling, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And then we're going to get ready to bring our right hand out parallel to the floor. So as we bring that right hand out, thumb up, we're going to step back with our left. That left leg is now strong, and we're pressing through the top of the back right foot. And our goal is to just bring that leg parallel to the floor, and then we're going to switch sides. And what we want to notice here, so now we're stepping back with the toe of the right foot. We're looking down directly between our hands, bringing that left hand out, and then lifting that leg up. So what you want to take notice of here is if you look back, that your hips aren't twisting or compensating. It's not easy, but it's a great place to start, even if you just start with the calf stretch, keeping the toes of the leg on the floor, reaching out the opposite hand, and then one day working up towards lifting. So you can do that a few times, keep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. And go once more on each side just so you can visualize it. So in your own time you can work on that one, and then I'm going to go down onto my belly. And here I really want to feel those hip bones here in the front, pressing into the floor or whatever's beneath me, tops of the feet pressing in to the mat. So you really want to feel like you're suction cupped through the front of those hip bones. So if you're a little on the skinnier side, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. If you've got a little bit extra there, you might not feel it, but you know that you're pressing in. So much so that you could even lift the chest up and back, away from the mat, creating space. But that stomach doesn't come up. Just the chest is up. We're keeping the neck in straight alignment, looking directly down at the mat. And then you can stack forearm on forearm. Relax the forehead down. Take a nice deep breath. And again, starting with activating the legs now. So you're really pressing into the tops of the feet, so much so that those thighs almost lift off the mat. Now pressing through the hips. We can bring our arms down, forearms parallel for a moment, pressing through the hips. Again, creating that connection of the hips to the mat. Keep breathing. You can bring your hands so that they're spread, the fingers are spread wide, fingertips maybe tilted to the outsides of the mat, elbows drawing in towards the body. And see if you can relax your glutes. Keep breathing. And then you can release the chin down. You can bring the legs a bit closer together, about hip-width distance, straight back, tops of the feet down. And then bring the fingertips towards the feet, palms down. Again, we're pressing through the hips, allowing the chest to rise, bending the legs, as if we were trying to kick ourselves in our butt. And then we can reach our fingertips towards the wall behind us. Keep breathing, making sure that our knees don't flail out to the sides. Making sure that our neck doesn't feel kinked, nice long neck. Keep breathing here. And then gently release. You can look to the right side. Just relax for a moment. And then bring that chin forward again. Again, check to make sure that your knees are no more than hip-width distance. Pressing through the hips, allowing the chest to rise. And then imagining that you're kicking the heels into the glutes. And then you're reaching back, a nice long neck. And if this is too much for you, you can absolutely do one leg at a time. And you don't have to have the hands. You can have the hands here if it's too much. So there's always modifications. Feel free to drop me a comment if you need some type of alternative movement. That's perfectly fine. Because what we're doing here is working up to this pose where we're able to grab both legs. But for now, we're just working on the mechanics, getting our hips down, pressing through, reaching back, and then relaxing to the side. Take a breath. And then we're going to swim a little. So you're going to extend, if it's accessible to you, extend the arms out in front, however is comfortable. Again, the tops of the feet are down. Our neck is straight. And then we're going to lift opposite leg and opposite arm. Inhaling and exhaling. As if someone's just pulling the fingertips towards the wall in front of you and pulling the toes towards the wall behind you. Inhale and exhale. Keep pressing the hips down into the mat. Keep breathing, just a few more. 5, 3, last one. Good. And then bring your palms to the mat, tuck the toes, coming back up. You can bring the knees wide to do a slight child's pose, resting pose, whatever feels good. Nice deep breath here. And then we're going to make our way up to the wall. So if you have a wall nearby, find the wall, bring your feet about a foot and a half away so that you're able to sit on the wall. Now before we go down too far, I want you to just hold this position before our legs get too tired. And I want you to see if you can bring one of your hands back to your spine. And I want you to see if you're able to really press your belly through to the wall, making that space disappear. And you can relax, and again, pressing down, minimizing that space. And you can roll your shoulders back if possible, feeling them on the wall, and at the same time you're doing that, see if you can really minimize that space in the back. Just so you can see me from the side here. So with me sitting back, you're really just, it's coming more from the hips, but on the wall you can feel it. You can also feel that on the floor. I'll show you for those that want to try it on the floor if you don't have a wall. So with the legs bent, same thing. Right now, there's a bit of space here, but I can minimize that space by pressing my spine to the mat, relaxing, pressing, relaxing, pressing. I can hold for a moment, relax, press, relax. And you can do this even while you're lying in the bed. Do it twice more. You're really just minimizing that space, allowing that spine to touch what's beneath you. Good. So last, I just want to show you something you can practice if you do have a mirror. So from the side, I'm going to show you so that's a little bit easier. You want to take a peek down and make sure that from the middle of your thighs down is where the middle of your ankles are. You want to make sure that your kneecaps are facing forward, that your feet are semi-parallel, and that you can see your ankles dependent upon your anatomy, maybe the tops of the feet if you have a belly or if you have bigger breasts. And then you're going to see if you can stand up nice and tall, allowing the palms to rest against the sides of the body. Imagining that there's a string pulling the spine taller, growing taller, pressing through the inner mounds of the feet. Find a place where you can take nice, easy, deep breaths. Feeling an openness through the front of the body. Finding a spot that feels very stable. Noting that your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles are mostly in one line. And then if you have a mirror at home, you're able to look and check and see if you're tilting one way, if you're tilting another, and what your normal is, so that you can start to be more aware throughout the day. If you're waiting in line, getting groceries, or if you stand for your job, that'll make a very big difference. And then for all the people that feel like you really have these shoulders that, I'm going to come down so you can see me better, that just really round like this if you're on the desk a lot, working on the computer. So make sure that whatever movement that you're doing throughout the day, if you feel like you're like this most of the day, really when you get home or throughout the day, do the opposite action so that you can counteract all that was done throughout the day. And a good way until you build up the strength to hold the back up straight by itself. If it's accessible to you, you can grab opposite elbows. If not, you can even just grab what you can. So here is fine, whatever you're able to do, and then eventually working up to being able to cross the elbows behind the back, because this really allows you to open up through the front of the chest and feel that broadness in the shoulders without having to overexert too much muscular strength. So if I was standing like this, I would feel nice and open. And just make sure that you're switching and using the opposite side as well. So when you're standing up like this will help you feel less hunched, because you can't really hunch because your forearm bone is impeding the spine from curving out. So I hope that these exercises and tips help you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, subscribe so you can get notified when new stuff comes out, and I'll see you next time.